Welcome back everyone. Let's go ahead and hit on the top reasons why you shouldn't buy an iPhone 11 in 2021. Now this video was so hard for me to make because I love the iPhone 11. It's like the perfect phone out there, but I guess we have to keep it, in the middle, and I guess we have to, be critical of the iPhone 11 for just this one video. Now the main reason why I wouldn't recommend buying the iPhone 11 right this second is because we're fairly close to the iPhone 13 release, so you might as well wait until the iPhone 13s come out. I would 100% recommend waiting. I said this in my other video too. There really isn't a huge reason to jump to an iPhone 11 right now unless you just broke your phone right now, but other than that, I would recommend waiting, to be honest. Now the very second thing, or whatever you're going to call it, the IPS panel. I mean, I love the iPhone 11. I really don't think the screen is that bad, but when you compare it to an OLED display that's even on the iPhone 12 or even on the iPhone 10, which is 2 generations older of the iPhone 11, you get a really good panel on those type of things. And still, you look at the iPhone 10, you look at the iPhone 11, I would much rather have the iPhone 10 panel than the iPhone 11 panel. So there's some pros for an IPS panel, but for sure when it comes down to it, getting an OLED screen is one of the best things you can do, and it's something I always look forward to whenever Apple releases a new phone, looking at that panel and seeing the improvements. And there's a reason Apple switched over to OLED on the iPhone 12s. It's because it's that much better of a situation, in my opinion, that much better of a panel. So that's another reason. Now, a reason on top of that is that, to be honest, the performance of the iPhone 11 isn't that much different than even the performance on an iPhone 10 or an iPhone 10R. From what I've seen, from what I've experienced, from messing around with all these phones, although the iPhone 11 is, has more RAM compared to those devices and is faster, in day-to-day use, you're really not going to notice that big of a difference. Of course, if you have a home button iPhone, that's a little bit different, but the iPhone 10 or an iPhone 10 are cheaper and they perform almost identically, unless you're, if you're comparing them side by side, then that's a little bit different. But if you're not comparing them side by side, you're really not going to notice that big of a difference from what I've seen. And that's a pretty big deal. Like I mentioned, when you have a phone like this, you want it to be as fast as possible, but you don't want to spend a ton of money on it. And in my opinion, it really isn't that big of a difference in terms of a performance standpoint. So that's another pretty big thing to keep in mind. Now, finally, the iPhone 11, the storage variants of this device are tapped out at only like 256 gigs. So there's not even that maximum 512 variant like we have on the iPhone 11 Pros and the iPhone 12 Pros. So if you're somebody who wants to get a little bit more storage from your device and you don't want to rely on iCloud storage or anything like that, you're pretty much limited on the amount of storage that you can have on an iPhone 11. Compared to the iPhone 11 Pro, 11 Pro Max, 12 Pro, and 12 Pro Max, you have more storage options. On top of that, the base model of the iPhone 11 is 64 gigs. The base model of the iPhone 12 Pro is 128. So that's another pretty big thing too. Most people are not going to go from a 12 Pro from an 11, but it is something to keep in mind. If you're planning on, putting a bunch of things on your phone and you don't want to go and get iCloud storage, you are going to possibly run out of storage if you get that base model, but you're only tapped out at 256 compared to 512 and almost 1 terabyte, which is almost confirmed on the iPhone 13s. So that's another pretty big thing to keep in mind as well. So those are just a couple reasons why I wouldn't recommend buying an iPhone 11 in 2021. Even with these reasons, I would still recommend buying it, to be honest. It's such a beautiful phone. I love it a lot. This video is very hard for me to make, but we gotta just talk about it, I guess. If you guys have any other questions or anything, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.